steady flogging. We know what's happening. If it's tapped, then it's fact. If it's capped, it's a rap. Over and over and over and over. Broken record scratching, they lacking, they capping again. They steady smacking their lips and rolling their necks. Eyes twitching cause you really made it out of them jets. You paraselling. Meanwhile, they just flatline, working on the...
Hold on, yo, because it was an actual... I kind of messed up already because I did a little thing and I kind of messed up already. Hold on, I'm trying to see if they'll get in here. I had made you a whole little intro. I just realized it wasn't in here. But anyways, it's your boy, the comment. It's Tapping Up. This is Tapping Up, Captain, where if you're a nerd and you see it, then what's your opinion? And what's going on, Jill?
That was the driest intro.
Hey, listen, bro. Hey,
What was that?
Hey, I was getting ready. You know how we repeat what you say? Me and Kaori kind of like mumble lip what you say, and you kind of threw me off. But I mean,
where's your introduction, sir?
It's your boy.
Start over.
Goofy,
start over. Rewind.
You want me to start over? All right.
Start over. What was that?
This is where the comment, KHAN_man.5 will know it's the Bay. Catch me Universal the Base. Catch me on What It Sound Like podcast, where you get your best reviews and interviews. And catch me here on Tapping Up Captain with your nerdy. You seen it, and what's your opinion? What's going on, Drew?
Man, what's happening, man? It's your boy Strong Doofy, making do with a Doofy. You can find me here, there, and everywhere else like air. You feel me? It's another one like the other one, man. What's up, my boy Diesel?
Damn, I gotta get a catchy intro like these niggas here, man. That's crazy. Y'all had the courage. I'm hurt. I hear it every time I hear it, I'm like, damn, think of something on the spot. Do it now. Yeah, it's the captain.
Hey, that's what I did.
I'm here to have fun, here to just provide some perspective and comedic relief if possible.
Got you. Kaori?
That was wow. Anyway, Dr. Kaori Knight. You can find me on TikTok at Kaori Akari, Instagram, Witchblade22, and you can catch me on Nerd on the Street, which is my podcast. And you can also catch me on my new channel, The Comic Doctor's Office, where you get your proper diagnosis and prognosis and everything comics and comic book characters.
Here these niggas go again. All the catchy intros.
Yeah, damn. I just found it too. Okay, so before I introduce you, I'm gonna go ahead and play your little intro, and we gonna just let you come in right after that. All right.
Sounds good.
And that's not. You know what? Just do you. Just go ahead. I created the whole thing, and it's not even up. I don't know why, but yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
Hi, I'm Talyana. I'm bad at introductions too. It's okay. My name is Talyana. I'm a singer, songwriter, and a voice actress. Just everything that has to do with the voice. And yeah, I'm on all music platforms and every social media platform that I can find.
I felt that.
Got you. Okay, so how's everybody doing? What's the updates? What's new? I know Talyana, you just had a performance not too long ago. How was that? What did it tell the people about it?
Yeah, it was good. I think because I took a little break from performing, last year I performed almost every single month. I wanted to kind of be mindful of what I was performing at, the type of like energy I wanted to be, really taking control of my performance. So coming back to perform, really fun. It was really fun, especially because I had full control of the whole process.
Hold on real quick. Is it just me or is her voice going kind of in and out?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit in and out.
No. Hold on.
I mean, you sound clear right now.
Okay, let me see. Is this better?
Yeah, there you go.
Yay! It's because I was so far away. Oopsie.
No, you good. But yeah, man, y'all see the flyer, man. This is Talyana, you know what I'm saying? She's the voice actor of Britney from this show called Plastic. She does music, as you see in the bottom. That's her IG. So yeah, man, we're here to talk about you. You know what I'm saying? So you said you was conscious about like what kind of performances or music you were doing, or can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So I think the benefit of performing a lot is because you're reaching out to new audiences, especially if they aren't your own. And it's really fun. But I am someone who gets sick very easily and very often. And so I tended to perform every single month. And on top of that, my health would like decline. And then, of course, if the show was a little disorganized, I think there's one time I got really sick because I was just kind of waiting, which things happen, but definitely I'm like, I want to be mindful of my health a little bit more. And so kind of being mindful of the shows that I'm doing has definitely helped me, especially mental health wise, creativity wise, and health wise in general. Yeah.
Okay, I feel that. Well, one, I want to say, happy Women's History Month. That's how you say it. Yeah, we wanted to have you on here today to basically honor women. We think you're amazing rising young star. We're proud of what you're doing. I like the voiceover that you're doing for Plastic, the voiceovers that you did for your TikTok, covering like Has Been Hotel and stuff like that. So I think that was really, really dope. How do you feel about, Women's History Month? Is there any like historic women that inspired you or that you like, look up to?
Yeah. So I'm really bad at names. So, but basically, I think especially just women in general, when it comes to the entertainment industry, when it comes to the comic industry, just like it's one of those things where, especially in entertainment and music, it's a very male dominant space. And so when you have voice actors, when you have singers, when you have producers that are women, there's something about that that's very inspiring, especially because it is a very hard, the entertainment industry is very hard to navigate. And so for all those women that are in these positions and are fighting for their rights to get paid evenly and to create freely without worrying about their safety, I think is so important. So those are my heroes, just anyone who's pursuing it and pursuing it with a fiery passion and demanding respect in the creativity room and all that stuff.
Okay. If anybody wants to chime in, let me know. But I'm actually surprised that you didn't mention Destiny's Child or Beyonce. You told me a story about that, about Destiny's Child being like music that you was like really into at the time.
Yeah. See, I'm bad at names. I'm like those. But yeah, definitely like Destiny's Child, Nelly. I think, especially growing up in a conservative household, I was not allowed to listen to nothing. I could listen to like Christian music. I think the most pop I ever listened to was like Veggie Tales. If you know that.
Hey,
Which don't get me wrong. Their songs, yeah, right. Their songs are good. Like, don't get me wrong. But there was one time where I was like, not even like I'm not supposed to look at the TV unless it's like a Bible story, basically. And I remember I was at my grandmother's house, and I think one of my cousins had on an award show, but I don't know if it was the Grammys. I don't know what it was, but they were performing Dilemma, and that was the very first song that I heard that was outside of anything that I've ever heard before. And I remember I wasn't even looking at the TV, but I kind of like scooted closer to the TV so I could hear it. I wasn't looking at it, so it didn't count. But my ear was like, if it could be like a cartoon, it was like, and that kind of, I don't know, just something about it. I was like, what is this melody? It kind of changed my whole perspective of what music could be. And it could be about any topic. It can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. So definitely like Destiny's Child, Beyonce, like those people, as I got to allow myself to be more expressive and allow myself to explore, they kind of paved the way for like my inspiration on my own music and stuff like that.
Okay, go ahead, Charlie.
Oh yeah, it's to be polite and I raise my hand like I'm in class. To keep things into the same vein as your music, I'm really interested into your music making process. Like when you're get inspiration for a song, what is the first thing you do for either the inspiration or the process?
Yeah, so
We
um,
see the stuff in the back, by the way. You know what I mean? The equipment. Tell them about that too, because a lot of people who go into school for like, you know, doing music and stuff like that, they don't know the necessary equipment that you need to get. So like, you know, just tell them about the whole process.
yeah, so behind me is a DJ set. I don't know how to do it, but my boyfriend does. And we have his like, hold on, we have his little audience. I don't know if you could see those stuffed animals.
Yeah, see it.
His DJ audience. But when it comes to my own recording process, I use a Rode N1TA microphone that goes on a Focusrite. Basically, like a good microphone. A Rode is pretty reliable when it comes to both singing and voiceover. I have a lot of like acquaintances and friends who do voiceover more professionally than I ever do, and they use a Rode microphone. It's kind of just more in like how you treat the room. And for me, I can't really like scoot it because it won't move, but I have a blanket over my microphone, and that's worked pretty fine. But it works. When it comes to my creative process of writing a song, I guess topic wise, what I try to do is sometimes what I tend to do, I use notes and I use voice memo. And this is even before I start writing a song. If I have an idea that comes to my head throughout the day or a melody in my head, I'll immediately go on voice memo, even if I never hear it again. I just feel like if I sing on it, I'll just like remember it. Or if I have like an idea or a sentence, I'll write it immediately on my notes. So when it comes to writing a song, usually I'll listen to the music. And specifically the chorus, because the chorus is the main topic. It's the reason why you're singing the song in the first place. So I always start with the chorus, and I'll play it over and over on a loop and kind of improv some melodies, improv some phrases. And most of the time when I'm singing or like working on the melodies, I'll kind of talk in like gibberish. I'll be like, and some vowel shapes will start to form. And it's very interesting because those vowel shapes end up turning into the lyrics. It's almost like putting together a puzzle piece. So I start with the chorus, and then I do the same thing with the verses. I leave the bridge for last because I don't know, it's my favorite part. It's usually like it adds to the story or it like brings a new element. So that's kind of basically the gist of the process.
Okay. Before we go deep into your music, because we have slides for that, bringing up Beyonce as, you know, one of your idols and whatnot. What you talked to me about, you know, your upbringing and how like, you know, you couldn't be exposed to certain music and certain talent and stuff like that. Did you have a do you transition, like do you transform on stage? Like, are you a different person the same way Beyonce is like Sasha Fierce when she's on stage? Are you a different person? Like, do you have a name for this person? Like, how do you channel that person out of you when you're performing?
Ooh, that's a good question. Basically, yeah, I naturally am a very both semi-introverted person, and then on top of that, I am my worst bully. And so to get myself to even perform, I have to I do like this, not like ritual, but basically like before I perform, I'll just be completely silent. I won't talk to anyone. I'll close my eyes. And I kind of just tell myself, I don't have like a special name, maybe Lolitana, but that's mainly my username and childhood nickname. But I'll kind of give myself some affirmations of like who I am. Like, even if it sounds like kind of conceited or cheesy, I kind of feel bad if I'm like, I am Talyana. I am this artist. I'm playing a character, especially growing up in musical theater. In order for me to get to even like doing this interview, I had to kind of put on a little bit of a character that pushes myself to answer, to think thoughtfully, to perform thoughtfully. So yeah, in a way, just without like a different name.
Is that part of the reason why you're wearing like red? You know, I know like a lot of women, like when they put on a power suit, it's like a red blazer or something like that. Did that have something to do with it?
Yeah, actually, it does. Every interview, even like job interview, I've always worn red. Casting, if they don't want me to wear something specific, I'll come in red. It's very interesting you notice that, because it is very true. And even for this, I purposely put on red, which is cool. It's interesting.
Okay, that's what's up. Just want to apologize real quick. I'm sorry that your intro wasn't in here for some reason. It wasn't titled wrong. I mean, it was titled wrong. I found it. It's in here now, but I'm just gonna play it at the end. At the ending, so it's gonna be an outro versus an intro. You feel me? So yeah. Go ahead, Charlie.
This is kind of a two-parter. To kind of get you said not to get too deep into music, but it's kind of it's a music question. But first part of that question is, how many like albums would you say you have, or do you have any like studio albums that you've made thus far, like a full project length?
Full project. It's very interesting. I only have one, but
what's all these?
Those are all singles.
Oh, okay.
I lean more towards singles, but when it comes to project, I actually have a project coming out this year, which I'm excited about. I think when it comes to projects, they do take longer, and that's just because it's almost like you're putting like different storybooks out. And so, especially for this one that's coming out this year, it was finished the summer of last year. So I try to, especially because it's going to be a collab one, it's kind of more EDM style. Albums give me kind of the space to explore and kind of validate this exploration of a different genre and style, while singles is kind of like more like, usually I aim for more like fun ones or more songs that I think the majority of people will like.
I feel like EDM is pushing the needle for somebody that's like conservative. Like that's very interesting. What made you go the EDM route? Like what inspired that?
So what inspired it? It was actually me and my boyfriend. He is a producer, and we wrote these songs kind of with this idea, because we both kind of went through the same things. Not trauma bonding, but you know what I mean. But it was mainly to talk about that story, the story of dealing with kind of being broken by either circumstances or people, and then finding that truth within ourselves, within our support system. For me, because what we did was I wrote some of the verses, and then he would write a verse. So we would always write one verse, and then I would write the chorus. So it was kind of like the music and the verses are almost like a conversation. And it's very exciting. Definitely a project allows me to like have a song that's fully not happy. So I can sort of validate, like help people feel validated if they feel that way too, to feel seen. It's also healing for myself. So then I can have songs that are fully positive. Because I think sometimes, and even in life, when we go through hard times, a lot of times we try to rush the hard time process in order to bounce back. But sometimes it's worth taking the time to accept what's happening and process it before you try to fix it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very exciting.
So for the second part of that question, kind of actually you led into it really perfectly. When you're cultivating your album and you're going through your songs, do you make songs specifically for that album, or like how many do you throw away some tracks, or maybe do you dig some songs out of a crate that you maybe have thought about fits that? Are you trying to formulate a certain message out for the entire album, or is it kind of just whatever songs you're feeling at the moment?
Yeah, so for this one specifically, each song was made specifically for the album. But I would say typically for the one that I'm working on for the following year, that one is a mix of songs that I've already written, some songs that I'm going to write, almost like kind of seeing the similarities and what overall message they kind of share. And then kind of puzzle piecing it together, because I do want it to kind of be more cohesive and not just a bunch of songs put into something. So it's a very interesting process when it is kind of like that puzzle piece stitching together old songs and new songs. It's kind of fun though. So I enjoy both processes.
So going into like basically having that trauma, basically people with trauma have to fight through these things. So speaking about being a fighter, tell them about you doing martial arts. At what age was this? When was you collecting these medals? You don't look like you kick butt like that. But you can't judge a book by its cover. So tell us about that.
That's true. How old was I? I think I was like 11 or 12. I was very much, especially growing up, very tomboy.
Word?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You don't get that from your Instagram or none of that. That's crazy. Tomboy? That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, I had no eyebrows. I liked to climb trees, and I was fighting boys, even though they did not deserve to be fought for no reason. But yeah,
you was a menace, low key.
Low key battling. But yeah, I did that with my 2 siblings at that time. I wasn't good at punching. I was only good at kicking, but it was okay. I still got the medals, so it worked out.
What martial art was this?
I'm not sure what form. I just remember that the place was called Extreme Martial Arts, so I kind of just put my trust in that. But I think it was just like standard like karate and stuff like that.
It sounds like Taekwondo to me, because that's they focused a lot on kicks, so that's what it sounded like to me. I also took Taekwondo, so that's what I figured.
Ooh, I could be wrong. But it might be Taekwondo. I'm just uneducated.
It's a martial art, so yeah. What tell us about the schools you went to. Like you went to Natomas High School? Is that...
Yeah, Natomas Charter School.
Damn, DJ Vlad.
PFA.
Tell us about what it's like growing up in Sacramento. Like
Narwhal, Charlie. That's Narwhal.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about like being from Sacramento, representing for California. Like what's that like? What's it like growing up in that demographic?
Yeah. So growing up in Sacramento, it was pretty fun. Definitely, especially because I started out homeschooled until I got to Natomas Charter School. It almost felt like living in Sacramento, like 2 different lives. When I was homeschooled, I was with all like the different like churches and the different homeschool programs around Sacramento. And I was like, this is basically Sac, right? It's like going to Sutter's Fort or whatever. But once I got to Natomas Charter School, I think that experience was both good and a good learning experience, just because, you get exposed to the arts and you kind of are in a space where you can explore the different art forms that you really like. For myself, I grew up doing like theater and I grew up doing like singing. So to be able to do that while also taking academics was fun. I enjoyed it, and definitely getting to meet other kids who had different points of views, who had different experiences, opened my own eyes, and kind of helped me figure out who I am a little bit better. So it was fun. And just living in Sac in general, there's a lot of really cool people here, and especially in music, everyone kind of knows everyone, and everyone's very into community and sees it as a family. So I really appreciate that here in Sac.
Got you. Oh, we got a little comment. Oh, okay. Showing some love your music. Can't wait to hear more.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you like it.
Yeah, I love it. Once we get to that slide, like I'm definitely gonna play. Well, it's the one that you like the most as well, so we'll definitely play that one later. But going into, I would say, your last schooling that you went to for Musicians
Ooh.
Institute in LA. Tell us about that experience.
Yes. So that was both one of the greatest experiences and the worst. And
Wow.
it was a time in my life where I had to choose between my music, like my passion for music and learning, and a different path that is like the polar opposite and not that great. And I chose the not that great one. But what I loved about that school was everyone was about music. And especially as someone that was okay in academics, this was the one time where I actually felt like I was excelling and learning, and I had knowledge to share. Because a lot of times, especially in a lot of spaces, I tend to think of myself as not that intelligent. So when it came to like, I was getting good grades, I was answering questions, I was bringing things to the table that people were actually impressed about. I was like, interesting. Maybe my intelligence is here. But I think what made it the worst experience was because I didn't get to finish my schooling there. I ended up moving back due to a not so great relationship that kind of put me in a position of choosing between them or like my future. And because I was very much, it's a city that like I didn't really know anyone, I was very much alone. So I almost felt like kind of dramatic, like chained to my past, chained to this person, especially because even though they were miles away, they knew, and they did it on purpose. They knew what to do to make this special experience for me feel horrible. Like I was the girl known to be crying on the front porch. I was like, bruh, I'm that person. Ooh, they think I'm homesick. No.
But you were bullied, basically? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of, yeah. Not by any of the classmates. It was my current partner at the time. They were very much, they did not like the idea of me being so far and the potential of me. I don't know if it was like excelling or realizing like if I was excelling that the life that I was meant to live might not have them in it. So they weren't very happy about that. So it definitely led to like, what?
Go ahead, lean into it. Don't shy from it. Say his name.
Exposed. Say his name.
You know what I'm saying? It's Woman History Month. Blast him. Get him.
Exposed.
Him out. Get all your friends, all your fans to find him on Twitter and shit. You know what I'm saying? Do all that. You know what I'm saying?
Little beehive.
Little beehive.
Go ahead, talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hear you. Unfortunately, a lot of women go through that, where men don't know how to let go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not really like a safe space for a lot of women to move on with their life. Like some women, I've experienced dating a girl where we couldn't even really date because she was so traumatized by the guy that she was dating that she was like, oh, we can't be in this certain area. You know what I'm saying? Like we couldn't even go eat in certain places because she was like, nah, because what if he pops up and he's stalking her and all this other stuff. So, you know, although we laugh about it, you know what I'm saying, say call him out, it is important because, you know what I'm saying, you're not the only one who goes through those experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true, especially when it comes to like these situations where maybe the partner, and it, of course, it goes both ways. Just this idea of when a partner, you see that they're excelling, and you might feel left behind. Some people know how to process that, and some people don't. And he definitely didn't. And so it was like almost every single night, like I'd have the great time in classes, but then I would call him, and then for some reason he would start finding some reason to get mad and then would hang up on me. And because I have like little attachment issues, I would start panicking. I would start panicking because I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening to him? Is he okay? Because he did suffer
Sounds
from
like classic manipulation to me.
yeah. And so he'd be like, don't even call me. He's like, you're on your own. I'm like, I don't know why I was panicking. I was more concerned because he has some just like mental issues that he refused to address and get help for. But he would use it as a weapon rather than like trying to heal it. And so
basically playing on your empathy and things of that nature. I feel
that.
So is that why you like to play games like Five Nights at Freddy? Like, you need to play games that's like a little bit more on
the scary side.
Yeah, the scary side. You relate to it a little bit, or what? Tell us about your Twitch and all of that. Tell us about being a gamer.
Yeah, so I just started streaming on Twitch. I'm trying to I stream from my MacBook, so I'm trying to figure out how to make it work. But I enjoy gaming a lot of times. For most games, I'm too anxious to actually play them. So for the scary games, unless I play it with someone else, I'll watch playthroughs because I love the lore more than anything. I always feel like if I'm the one playing, I'm not going to pay attention to the lore. I'm just going to hide in the corner, even though that nothing's going to happen. And I'm like, I'm just going to stay here for a while. So when I mainly play cozy games because I can kind of multitask. I can pay attention. I'm not getting too anxious about it. But I love lore. I've been a huge fan of Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie, just some of the OGs, even Vanoss. I just loved watching gameplays, especially as someone who was more into things that not everyone else, at least that I knew at the time, was into. It almost felt like I was playing it with them, even though I wasn't playing at all. Let me see. I feel so dumb. If you mean a riff,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it full screen. I wanted to.
What riff to do.
Why is it not pausing? Okay, there it is. I don't know why. I'm trying to make it slide down a little bit, but it ain't. Let me see. Because I wanted to show this little riff that you did. I thought it was hilarious, but it's not a. Hold on 1 second. Let me do it real quick.
Technical difficulties.
Why do it? Okay, so if I do it like this,
you've been promoted.
Okay, boom.
You're my most valuable employees.
Got you. Here we go. I just wanted to present this real quick. Twitch. Bang. Alright. So I just want to play you doing this silly little riff real quick on your Twitch.
Let me see. What is that one? Dun, 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 dun. Wait. It's really bad. I hope you liked it. The greatest singing.
Oh, that's so
good.
Yeah, that's the crazy shit.
I don't know who else would get that, but that's basically Zelda. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many fans y'all got in here, but as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, that was dope. So did you play Zelda growing up, or did you you know what I'm saying, you just watched, or what?
Those are one of those games. I was more of Super Mario. That was the things that my mom would let me play. Zelda was not so much, just because it had magic in it. So it was always one of those games where I was looking to the side, ooh, I want to play it so bad, but I couldn't. And but I always loved the characters, and tried to get the references whenever I could. I was much younger when I was more interested in Zelda, but I wasn't allowed to play, unfortunately. Maybe I'll play now. Get into it.
I was gonna take advantage. Because there's been so many new ones that's came out. Okay, last question about this, basic stuff before we get into your stuff. You're a fan of Has Been Hotel?
Yes, I love Has Been Hotel to an unhealthy degree.
Who is your favorite character, or why do you love the show?
I love the show. I think especially because I still have my beliefs, and that's also plays a part in why I love it so much. The main character, um, she like when it comes, I feel like I relate with her a lot just because of this idea that um, she wants to help people. She wants to rehabilitate sinners. She sees the good in everyone, sometimes to an unhealthy degree, but she still tries to see the good in everyone. She's very patient. Very patient, very kind. She's not easy to anger. It's a lot of those qualities that represent everything that I believe in as well. And especially because a lot of the characters, they have their backstories, they have reasons why um, they've become who they've become, and especially the people who are willing to change. It's such a beautiful story, and it deserves more episodes. I'm so sad it was only like 8, but it was okay.
Say it again for the people in the back. That 8-episode thing hurt my heart.
I know. I was like,
come on. They have a season 2 coming out. It's going to come out faster than season 1.
Good
They're
old days.
working on it.
I'm going to keep saying, remember the good days when we had 24, 15, 17, 92 episodes a season? This 8 and 10 killing me.
Listen, it's better than what they did on Netflix with Castlevania, where the first season was 3 episodes.
Oh my god,
that is true.
Okay.
I was like, ooh.
The first season was 3 episodes, and I was like, "How dare y'all?" Because what the hell was that?
That's a federal offense to play with people's emotions.
An actual fucking crime. It'd be different if it was like 2 bad episodes and then a good episode, but you had 3 really good episodes, and then that was it. And then we had to wait 2 years for season 2. Very upsetting.
it hit harder than crack in the 80s, and you immediately going through withdrawal. Immediately.
Like, what is this? What is in here?
I'll do anything.
For y'all to hurry up.
So funny. What about y'all? Who's your favorite character? Like for me, I'm not really into the show like that for the reasons why her parents didn't have her watch shows. But you know, my little cousin's really, really into it. So I've watched a few episodes, and my favorite thing about the show is the singing. So like when I saw you do like a voiceover for it, I was like, oh yeah, I could perfectly see you in this show because you know you do singing plus voice acting. I think that's the biggest highlight of the show is the singing and the soundtracks that they have.
Yes, I love the music. It's so good. There's a lot of Broadway singers.
Character.
You said who?
Who's your favorite character?
Who you talking to?
You heard me. I want to know Jude's favorite character.
Oh. Yeah, it's my turned off.
Your mic is not on.
I thought she was talking to her. I swear I did. My favorite character on the show, side character, because he really don't got too much going on, and it's just like off biasness. Keith Davidson is the bartender. I love bro because he tells one of your favorite characters about himself. That's me. I like to be the dude. Like, hey, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And you're gonna respect me or neglect me in the end. But most likely you're gonna respect me. And that's what happened with bruh. But I liked it, the Valentino dude, because he was pimping, man.
You gotta call him pimps. You were pimps, bro. You were pimps.
I knew he was gonna say Valentino.
Keep your pimp hands strong.
I knew it was.
I like the Valentino with swag though. He reminds me of the boogeyman off the Powerpuff Girls.
Mr. Ooze, Ooze. Wait, what's his name? Oz something, bro. I know it's something Ooze.
Hey, he remind me of him though, off of Powerpuff Girl. Like
Him.
Oh, him from Powerpuff Girls. Gotcha.
No, I'm not him. I'm talking about him.
Not him. On the
There is a
Powerpuff Girl.
character named him, so that gets conflicted. But
yeah,
like,
the actual pimp who was walking an invisible dog, which is actually a female.
Man, you seen him though with the disco ball coming down?
Yeah.
That's Valentino.
Yeah,
just
that's Valentino.
That boogeyman was blue. Valentino got the red with the pimp suit on. You know what I mean? That's a cold pimp too, man. You don't play with pimp like that. That's a cold pimp.
On a pimp named Slickback type shit. On the
Well, I don't know, Charlie.
Hey, that's more like a pimp named Get Back because
Pimp named Get Back is
they
crazy.
had him on that episode tripping on bruh answer machine like episode 2 episodes prior to before he went back to it. He was like, yeah, I love you, fuck you, I hate you. Call me back. No, you stupid motherfucker.
It was. You know, I'm sorry. You know, I love you.
I'm sorry.
Like,
I really do.
Go away. Like what?
He was on that. What's that name from an interview with a vampire? He was on that same type of
The
stuff.
side?
Oh man, no, it's not.
First time right there, and then bruh came through. Assistant came through, tried to talk to him like, "Hey man, you think you can get bruh a couple days off work? We trying to prep for the little woo wow." He like, "Nah, I don't give a fuck who you is. Get her out of here. I don't care if you what." Excuse my language. The nigga like, I don't care if you got to shove 20 dicks tonight, but you gonna do it. It's in the contract. I was like, what?
Well, first of all, I love Angel Dust, and justice for Angel Dust all the time. My poor baby. Justice for Angel Dust.
Justice for Angel
He had
Dust.
it worse than Jack off the Titanic. I ain't gonna lie. I was feeling like Rose. I was like, Angel.
I love the dynamic between him and Husk later on because, like I said earlier, mentally I feel where he is at when you have like exactly 0 places to go and like you're trying to better yourself, but there's always that reminder that this is as good as you're gonna get type shit. So when he ended up connecting with Husk and Husk told him straight up, like you're in a shitty situation, yes, but you need to get your motherfucking self out of it.
Type shit.
Get your head up and let's go. Like I don't care what he was like, and he was like, the reason I let him do what he does is because if I am trash at the end of the day, he will leave me alone. He was like, but that's not you. You're not that. So
What
get
was
up.
the what was the song
He
that
never
they
left him
did?
alone though. He was saying that, but the dude was on his ass.
Because he hadn't had him, and like he hadn't had him over there. He ended up leaving, and then it was like he was still doing better, still working. He just wasn't coming home to Valentino. So Valentino was like, "I'm not gonna leave you alone until I feel like I'm tired of you."
Random question, way off script, way off script for Talyana. I need you to go back into the recesses of your mind and try to recall the last thing that made you laugh so hard that you couldn't breathe. Like, what was that thing, or a show, or a moment, or
That was extremely random.
It's random. Hey, popped in my head.
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't even know.
Somebody fall down the stairs.
Somebody fall down the stairs.
You laughing at old people falling down escalators or something?
No. I used to have beef with some elderly women growing up, but that was because my grandma.
Tell me
You
about
was
this.
beefing with elderly women.
You out there funking with auntie?
Beating up Bertha, boy. Ethel. I'm sorry.
It was for good reason. I had a reason. I had a motive. But
A motive. Now the red shirt is starting to look like something else.
You want to give her any of the strawberry candies from church? They were hoarding them all.
The old she only had butterscotch every time she got there. She's like, I wanted the strawberry.
had some beef. My Nana, she owned a care home. So she had some ladies living there. And some of them were great. And then some of them did not like me. And I was like, There's one that particularly did not like me. And so for my 8th grade paper, we were allowed to write a scary story. And I wrote it based on her. And ain't nobody know until now. So I don't even know if I have it. So if I ever find it, I'll recite it like poetry. Because I think it was pretty good. Because I got a good grade on it.
Old People is very understanding. There's like a whole horror movie called Old People. And it just solidifies my dislike for senior citizens.
She done wrote the Telltale Heart, but she didn't put that old lady in.
This is starting to sound like strong ass discrimination, bro.
We love the elderly.
Hey, sound like we got another auntie slayer here. Got the grandma
auntie slayer. Yup. Auntie slayer.
So,
done with the 90s.
What you say, K-Word?
I said old people do way too much.
I
They be doing too
respect
much.
you.
That is true.
That's why they have
You know,
seniority.
That's
Speaking
why
about,
they have senior homes. Stay there.
Damn.
that's
Here to keep my
crazy.
grandpa away from your ass.
That's
You
crazy.
say get them off the streets. Why you
That's
treat old people like
crazy.
crackheads though? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Hide your grandparents. Hide your.
Oh, God. The grandma slayer over here.
That movie on Netflix called Old People just like solidifies
I
my
gotta watch it. I never heard of it.
dislike for old people. It's a horror movie about old people who
Bet
just
you
turn
is. I've
into
been
like
covered
killing other
for,
people,
like,
and I can't do it. I'm like, old people are already creepy.
It's on the Shyamalan
They don't
thing.
need to be more creepy.
Y'all remember the old school cheek grabbers back in the day? The old ladies?
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. I was like, hey, yo.
Charlie, you
Come
knew
over
me.
there, Charlie.
hey, bro.
Usually the problem child with suggestive things like that is Khan.
Usually,
No, nigga,
I'm
that ear
lost.
at church.
Said what?
Trying to
What?
church
You don't know.
he grabbed that ear when he was talking in church.
y'all professional because we got company here. That's why.
That's crazy. But speaking about shows, because we just got done talking about Hazbin Hotel, tell us about your childhood watching Bratz, or not? It's not even your childhood. You actually watched it later on in life, right?
Yeah, I went on. I was out of the house. This is when I was in Musicians Institute, and I was free. So with my freedom, I chose to binge Bratz, which I thought at that time was the most rebellious thing I could do. It says a lot.
Bratz was good. Bratz was
Yo,
a good
Bratz
show.
was the most
is so
rebellious
good.
thing you could think of at that time. So watching Bratz,
I love it.
If she had
I love it.
like, if she was like, I watched Witch, I would have completely been like, absolutely 100%. That's like the most rebellious thing that you could do. Because
Right.
But, like, Bratz is okay. Bratz is
Bratz
okay.
It's okay.
The Covenant or something is more rebellious than watching Bratz.
I love it. I love it so much.
But,
I thought
What
that was the best part.
year was this experience?
What was that?
tell us about He said
Around
what year?
year was this experience of
What
binging
year?
Bratz?
Ooh, I could
Had to be
say
around time.
I was college age. So I think it was like 2019.
College.
2019. I think I was like 19 or 20 years old when I watched it. It was like in my dorm. I binged like a bunch of movies. All of the movies. I tried to do them in order. I don't know. I was trying to like be organized with it. I don't know why I did that. But I binge watched Bratz, especially because I don't know. I think growing up, my mom didn't like that, and like my family didn't like that they had like no noses. They didn't like the fashion. They're like, oh, they're like very inappropriate. And then watching it, I'm like, it's not that bad. And I'm addicted to this. And like, it's not like the greatest animated, like that's what makes it enjoyable, is because it kind of has that like throwback of like kind of imperfect animation, but it has like fashion and style, and like it's diverse. There's like a diverse group of girls, but they're all seen as equal. Like there's no, none of the issues that they have anything to do with who they are. It has everything to do with what they love. And I was like, I'm here for it.
That's dope.
And I still woke up for my classes because I was like, I don't want to miss them.
I think that's funny because me and Charlie had this debate about old school like anime versus new school anime, and he says that if he watches a show that doesn't have good animation, he's not going to give it a chance. And so he complained about old school anime that I used to watch.
Wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah,
When did this conversation happen?
You're just mad because we don't got to deal with the bullshit anime that you used to have to deal
Was
with.
this a gatekeeping argument? Is that what that was about? We were not talking about old school
This
animation.
is somebody from your generation.
We were talking about gatekeeping.
See, you say he tried to do me? He tried to set me up. America, you see this? He tried to set me up.
We were talking about gatekeeping, not animation.
That was his talking point.
That was not.
That was not his talking point.
Roll the film.
So I gotta clip it up.
Yes, you have to clip that up. You have to Clip
I'm
that
gonna clip
footage,
this specific scene, and I'm gonna find that specific part where you said that,
please.
and I'm
He
gonna
didn't
put it
say like,
together.
and he wasn't talking about the animation. He was saying where you
That's
were
right. Protect your
saying
son.
that we own.
You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Protect your son. Go ahead.
Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Talyana, how long were you using alternative cuss words growing up? That's what I want to know. When did you get that first F-bomb out and you were like, oh my God, I liked it. I could do it.
I think
I
I
bet it
was
was young.
it was young. I think it was like freshman year of high school.
Told you.
Like stubbed your toe and you're like, fuck, there's nobody around. You're like, oh my God.
I was like, oh my gosh.
God,
I think
not
I don't
good.
even know. I don't even remember the first time, but probably especially because I was just like, oh my goodness, like I'm gonna be that person that doesn't cuss and blah 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 blah. And then I did anyway. And so I was like, okay, my limit is I don't say like OMG. And I still don't, even to this day. Like that's the only cuss word that I don't say, which is so funny because then I'll say like every other cuss word.
Jude tripped me out because all I saw, I thought Jude was using a strong hand for a second. I was like, where is that baby head? My strong hand.
It's my strong arm. Don't whip that
Give me your other hand.
I'm sorry. It's late where I'm at, so I'm just random. My bad. My thoughts are sporadic right now.
She trying to steal my computer. She heard everybody's voices coming through, so she crawled her way over here. So
I'm trying to sit at the cool kids table.
Y'all seen her slapping me though. The audacity.
All right, so we almost like an hour in. I want to hold our guests too much longer, so we gonna get into like the hard hit stuff, like her stuff, you know, all her platforms and whatnot. Let's start off with the music. You know what I'm saying? What is the genre of your audience? Like, what's the genre?
I would say the genre, in a whole, I always lean either between pop or R&B. I just like to make it very general, and either say pop or R&B, because sometimes I'll make songs that are very R&B, sometimes I'll make songs that are very pop. Of course, I have songs that even have like a little bit of rap in it, but I mainly make just like pop, just because pop is very general, especially in this day and age where there's kind of a freedom to explore within just like a general genre. You could do pop, but also rap. You could do pop, but it also have like a jazzy swing to it. So I kind of keep it general and like pop.
Okay, Michael. Shimona.
Speaking about you classifying with pod, Beyonce once said,
oh, damn.
She's over being a pop star. I don't want to be a hot girl. I want to be iconic. How do you feel about that?
I honestly, hearing that, I agree. It's one of those things where people will, and that's why I'm always like, oh, I'm this, but I'm also this. It's very hard to put someone in a box. And at the end of the day, to be iconic versus a pop star, to be iconic, there's no genre that's holding you back. There's no style. She's right now, she's doing country. Like she can be whatever
right.
she wants to be. How do you be iconic? I think it's one of those things where it's just being unapologetically, either unapologetically yourself or unapologetically, I can't speak English. Unapologetically, whatever you want to represent, you're in full control of who you are. And even at the end of the day, because everyone will see you differently. Some people see you as a mother, as a daughter, as a son, as an enemy, as a friend, as an icon, or as like the opposite of that. But at the end of the day, when you know who you are and you are creating things that you want to create, the right audience will follow you. And that's what it takes to be iconic. I guess.
A question I have from looking at it from a consumer standpoint, right? When you're consuming content and going for music, usually when people go into music, you go to a specific artist for a particular thing. Like if I'm going to listen to some Anderson .Paak music, I'm expecting like some soulful stuff. Do you yourself find it difficult to where a creator that you follow or have followed for a while, when they experiment and it's like, because you hear all the time like, oh, that's not the old Kanye, or that's not like this or that or the third. And how you have to kind of get used to what they're trying to adapt to now. How do you navigate it?
I think
for actually going.
when it comes to, sorry, I'm hearing a lot of feedback.
Your character is extremely good at shoulder, right?
When it comes to kind of this idea of, sorry, I'm trying to remember what the question was. I just keep hearing a lot of feedback.
It's not me, is it?
Who is that?
What?
Is it Khan?
What
Are you playing a video?
Con, was you watching the video?
I had some queued up.
Yeah, you trying to clip that bullshit? This nigga so petty. You so petty.
No.
4K.
No, not like that. Not like that. Not queued up for that. I had it queued up for her. So it disappeared and I had to bring it back up. I was, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. Y'all worry about the wrong thing.
No, because you had it playing through the speaker while she was talking. And we're just like, what is happening?
Oh, you gotta ask questions.
To bring forth the question again, I'll reiterate it again because I know you kind of got thrown off. But when you're consuming content, how difficult do you find it if you're going to an artist or creator for a particular thing that they do, and then they venture outside of that box that in your mind you kind of put them in? How difficult is it for you to like adapt to the new thing that they're doing, even if you're not feeling it?
I think personally, because I make music myself, it's a little easier to understand when an artist ventures off into a new style. Of course, we usually listen to certain artists because of a certain aesthetic, because of a certain style. There's a huge bedroom pop scene, especially in communities that are like, especially college kids, when they're studying, they want artists that they can listen to, but it's not too complicated in music. And then you have people who love a certain genre. It just depends on who they are. It kind of is one of those things where when an artist starts to venture off into something new, it's the same thing when people change. Are you able to get to know this new version? Are you able to adapt? Or if you like this artist, do you like this artist or do you like the aesthetic that they represent? And if you like the aesthetic they represent, then it's harder to accept their new music. You might just end up just listening to their old stuff because you're like, the old stuff is good, because music is subjective. So it's not at end all be all bad or good. It's just to that person. But if they love the artist and how their mind works, and when they hear this new style of music, they will be like, okay, let's see what it's about. What story are you saying? Why are you exploring this? Let's hear how this style matches your voice. So yeah, it just kind of depends on if you like the person or if you like what they make.
Got you. So speaking about new story and new music, this is your first time trying to do like something alternative from like what you're used to with your normal sound, coming out with this song, and you said that you might start making more music like this. It's my personal number one favorite out of all your music, but you've heard me go on a rant and send you multiple songs that I like. So would it be okay if we play it for the audience?
Yes, of course. And also it was animated by my friend Casseroli. She's a really good artist and has a webtoon. So it was cool to reconnect with her to make it.
That's a hard ass name. That's a hard ass name. Casseroli is hard. Casseroli is hard. I don't care what you say. That's hard.
I thought Sisters LePay was tight, but that's wrong.
That's some pimp shit right there, boy. Casseroli is hard.
Got that dope name.
Tired of the trouble, Steal the joy from me. Ask me how I stay happy. I don't. Just living, praying that the cloud will leave my throat. I know that I'm tired and my vessel is almost dry. Can't tell no one else 'cause I'm no good at saying goodbye. Just pray I wake up in the morning. Just pray I wake up in the morning. And if I feel alright, I might be open to a peace of mind. But I can't promise you that I'm gonna follow through. Just pray I wake up in the morning. Of the world just seems to change, especially when I just say the same. I'm just trying to leave a legacy. Nothing's temporary, even waiting for me. Money of the world just seems to change, especially when I just say the same. I'm just trying to leave a legacy. Nothing's temporary, even waiting for me. Getting on to one, I cannot speak. All choked up, I cannot breathe. I miss you, I'm trying. Please I know that I'm tired and my vessel is almost dry. Can't tell no one else 'cause I'm no good at saying goodbye. Just pray I wake up in the morning. And if I feel right, I might be open to a peace of mind. But I can't promise you that I'm gonna follow through. Just pray I wake up in the morning. Just pray I wake up in the morning. And if I feel right, I might be open. And I can't promise you that I can't promise you that I'm gonna.
Hey, so have you ever thought about like seeking to do anime intros or like trying to do intros?
That would be. That was bro. I was about to say the same
So
thing.
now I'm gonna get into my question because when this video came up, that was gonna be my thing. So, when I was going through your page to make the flyers and slides and everything, I mean the slides and everything. I didn't make the flyer this time, but to make the slides and stuff, and then I was browsing each one of your platforms. You give me a big anime intro vibe or like K-pop like kind of vibe with your music, and I could see you doing like anime intros, like certain styles of anime, like that in code. That song right there for sure gave me anime vibes. Like I was watching, waiting on a clean ass show or outro one, either or on that song. But it's a few of your songs I heard. I was like, oh yeah, she can do some anime intros for sure.
Yay! Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
you know what her name? Marshmallow, is that her name? Not the dude that do the beats, but the girl that does.
Castle.
No,
Oh.
it's a African American chick. She's very popular in the blur community right now. She does like a lot of anime intros and she like sing in Japanese. I can't think her name. It's like Marshmallow.
Oh, I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's something Marshmallow, but you guys have a similar twist. I like that.
Yeah. That's instant playlist for
Look
me.
into
That's,
some anime intros.
I put that in my
to.
playlist immediately. I ain't gonna hold you. That was hard.
It's
It
hard.
gave me,
you.
to Ju's point, like when we talked about the anime intro, it gave me the similar vibes to like the ending of Inuyasha, that outro. That's like the kind of vibes I got from that. I was like, man, this is hard. This is sick for me. This is dope.
It was giving like
Production was on point.
our line and stuff. Like when those type of shows come on and it show the main character, side character, the villain.
They're sliding through. And...
All
You got
that-
tears coming down.
Yeah, like if that song was playing, you could see like all those slides coming in, showing each character, the villain, all that. Like I could see that. Like that
Yeah.
song.
I'm ready to hear that in the truck tomorrow. I'm gonna go to lunch and play that. That was good. That was
Bro,
I normally gas a lot of that stuff up, but if I'm gonna interview with an artist for like, I think that was I genuinely enjoyed that the whole time. I forgot I was on a
Thank you
podcast.
so much.
okay, let me rant real quick, and I don't want to take up airtime from you, Talyana. So you, Charlie, you good at shutting me up when I need to go too far, or Jew, you too. If I go too far, let me know. But all I'm gonna say is when the first time I heard this song, because I asked you, I was like, what's your favorite song? You told me this. I eventually got to it because I was already listening to like your Spotify music and stuff like that. I was like, okay. And I really like your collab songs too. When I got to this song, Nick. Like, let me tell you, bro. I sent it to like 3-4 people. I listened to it on repeat, and I really fuck with it. Like, I really fuck with it. I know profanity. I don't know how you feel about it. I know you don't curse like that, but that's how deeply I feel about it. Like, I was like, bro, the way that you convey that feeling, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been in that space multiple times. I know some of my co-hosts and friends can testify that they've been in that space, and the way that you went about it, especially with the slap, like the beat is, you know what I'm saying, even though it's sad lyricism, the way that the beat flowed with it, and then you broke it up, and you the riffs and the I was just like, bro, this is hard, bro. Like, I really like that song a lot. Can you tell us about, like, what I don't want you to, if it's uncomfortable, let me know, but what space or what made you want to create that song? Like, what was the motivation?
Yeah, it's all good. So with that song, Ayo Jazz did an amazing job on it. It was actually part of, like, he sent samples of song, like some beats, and this was like way before. I struggle with some mental sadness, and I was at a point in my life where I and sorry, I'm like, I don't want to mention like the terms because I don't want to trigger anyone, but I was doing a lot of like, when it comes to like eating stuff, and then like insomnia, but overall it was this idea of like the D word, and I basically, and this this story is a little bit of a trigger warning if you don't like the talks about like depression or the sewer slide. It's kind of I don't know how to censor it.
That's crazy. Sewer slide. The sewer slide. That's crazy.
Like Ninja Turtles, a sewer side.
Just
that's crazy.
but with that song was made in one night.
Okay,
it was
Biggie
written.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream. It felt like it.
So the Wayne stuff, she got in the booth, was like, I got this. I'm on it.
I was in my room. I was in a place where I was like, I either will plan one of two things. I will either plan my ending credits, or if I still have any emotion left in me, I will write a song, because that's the only way I knew how to. I'm very bad at expressing my emotions. I was like, then I'll write a song. As Disney Channel as that sounds, I'm gonna write a song. I don't know. It just made sense in my brain. I'm like, beanie.
I mean, it made sense. I mean, you didn't know how to combat with the older lady, so you made a whole story.
Oh my god.
A whole story about the older lady.
Ethel's terrible. Burn her out.
Go back into your art. I feel you.
Diss track.
Yeah,
the diss track is crazy. Really quick, I wanna speak on the imagery. Because initially when I saw the title, I'm like, cloud in my throat. That's kind of nasty, isn't it? I was like, what? I was like, okay, what are we about to get into?
I'm not the only one. You don't know how good I'm.
That's crazy.
I was gonna ask him. I'm like, let me not say nothing. If it's not that, I would look like ass. But as the song was going on, and I felt at least that's what I believe you're talking about, as far as when you're crying or you're about to cry, you get that feeling of like your throat's filled. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I see what she's conveying there, and I can feel that as I'm listening to the song. So again, kudos to you for like the imagery, the way of emoting the emotion to make people feel what you're trying to convey. That was dope.
Thank you. Yeah, the title is a little bit off-putting. Definitely me and Ayo Jazz were like trying to decide on the name, and at the end of the day I was like, okay, we'll name it this. We'll keep it like that. I think
I was like, did she smoke weed?
I used to, but now I'm like super careful about it. But the name of it definitely has
her
helped.
Smoking weed back in the day. Shout out to my friend Tina that put me on Talyana. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That used to be her manager. That's my high school friend. So, you know what I mean? Appreciate you, Tina. You know what I'm saying? I
Love
hope I'm
you.
gonna send you this
Tina.
video. Yeah. But speaking about the imagery and all that, I'm not gonna play the whole song. I just wanted to play the song just so y'all can see the videography because that's what I want to get into. I'm gonna go into a couple of these songs just to show the creativity and the videography because I don't know who's doing that for you, but they're a genius. Like it's really top tier. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's really up there. Like I'm like okay.
Let me judge
Yeah.
this real quick.
I need him to bang close. That's just how to make those. That's just how the game goes. I need him to bang close. I need him to bang close. That's just how I make those. That's just how the game goes. I need him to bang close. Yeah, I want everything. I'm not so satisfied right here. Grateful for.
Oh, I did that. But
Hey,
okay,
that
so
video
yeah.
cruise would be a whole trip. I swear to Barbie, like that's a whole trippy video. Like
I got ludicrous Doja Cat vibes off the aesthetic and the editing for it.
Ooh, bitch, get out the way.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna play this one too, because this one she's not even in the video, but I like what they did. So,
oh, I see this.
This
Yeah.
filter on
With the world on your shoulders, I guess you're wasting, ease your mind. I must be there, but you know ya. I take my hands and trace your line. It's the way that we could ride. It's the way that we could ride. Think I met you in another life, so break me off another time. You wrap around me and you give me life. That's why night after night I've been loving you right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week.
all right, so
It's
look,
very creative.
I was trying to figure out what the inspiration for the aesthetic was in the beginning. I'm like, okay, I see it. I see the vision. I see the vision.
Monday, Tuesday. That was 7 days of the week.
so question is that your handwriting?
That is my handwriting when I'm trying to write really fast.
Got
That's you writing fast.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad about myself. I gotta
No.
start practicing my handwriting. That's crazy.
Kind of sure with your handwriting when you write.
I don't know. I already saw you do it. I was like,
I was a doctor in his past life.
man,
I never
hey,
understand why
listen.
your life in immediate danger. And you got a nigga that write like this. Like, how do you expect to survive? I see why the death and life ratio was so high back in the day. They need to read this shit.
Yeah. I had sent Jew some of the notes that I took for the interview. And so I was like, look, before you even say something, disclosure. You know what I'm saying? I know it's chicken scratch, you know what I'm saying? But contrary to popular belief, when I actually write, it looks good. You know what I'm saying? When I really, you know what I'm saying? When I was moving fast. Whatever. Anyways.
I ain't gonna lie. Only thing I
God is
decided-
watching. Don't be telling no lies now.
Lying on air is crazy.
Let's go.
For the whole world to see. You better share this video around to friends too.
Is wild.
With friends like these, who needs enemies? You know what I mean?
Yeah, we about to start bringing back them tap the cap buttons and shit out of nowhere. When niggas get the bullshit. Yes, cap. Start hitting that button.
But yeah, so who does the videography for your music?
Yeah, so for that first video, it was the videographer was Bay God. She's an incredible videographer and an artist and producer herself. She's someone that I definitely admire in music, just because she does it all, and she, with the help of like her support team, but she also takes the time to teach herself and especially because I don't know, it felt like such a different energy to have a female videographer, and to my first like bigger collab, like where I got to do a video, was with Charm. So it definitely, that feminine energy was there. Big Odd is amazing. Woman empowerment. Yes,
B-A-Y or B-A-E?
B-A-E.
Okay, I was about to say, like, I know where she's from, but it's not B-A-Y.
Yeah, and that was definitely fun collaboration with me, AO Jazz, Charm, and Big Odd. And she definitely is someone who likes to explore different mediums. That's why she does like the trippy effects, but then also those more cinematic effects, and she's just amazing. And then for the 7 one, that was I did that. I wrote the calendar. Okay. Thankfully, everything fit in that month, so I didn't have to write any lyrics on another month because I didn't have any extra paper. Otherwise, I would write over my actual calendar. And it was actually the first time in a long time that I produced it myself. So I produced the music for that rendition, which I was very happy about because I wanted it to be very like princessy with a lot of violins and stuff like that. So it was fun.
Where'd you look to get your overlay from for the cinematic, the film room? Was that just the overlay or that a graphic you found?
I think I tend to use like effects from like CapCut, basically. CapCut and like InShot, as well as Me Too. So I was like, whatever I can find.
CapCut is fucking amazing, and I use it for everything.
Yes, don't underestimate. It's so
Do not underestimate CapCut.
Probably put us on to that a year ago.
Ooh.
I appreciate that, Jew. I appreciate that. That's the big homie. I appreciate that. I wasn't gonna say nothing. You weren't here then, K. Or you weren't around.
I wasn't here. I discovered CapCut on my own.
Yeah, you went in the picture. Okay, damn. Was it
independent
so
woman?
wrong?
Okay, you got it, queen.
If I would put you on.
Both old niggas in remedial. My nigga came through and showed us the way.
You two definitely needed it. Good on Charlie.
What?
Good on Charlie.
What's going on here?
Good on Charlie.
Yeah, you carried her a little too much. She's smelling herself. She's smelling herself a little too much. Hold on, chill.
All right. Well, yeah. Past all that, I don't like this shit. We go. Let's talk about your cosplays. Let's get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Tell me about it. What's out of these? And I don't know if you've done some outside of this, but what is your favorite cosplay that you've done?
I would say my favorite cosplay was the Merkel one, just because it's a brown character. I felt represented. I could wear it and not be like, oh, it's this version of it.
She isn't black.
Like especially with like that debate, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm in the Chinese zodiac, I'm a rabbit, so I was like, it was meant to be. So that was one of my favorite cosplays, just because I love a good wig, and especially because she's buff. And at that time, I naturally have very defined arms. And at that time I was lifting. So I would always like take advantage of like flexing in like the photo. I didn't do any videos of her because like I couldn't keep everything. Everything was falling apart. So I had to like quickly take a picture and be like, oh, okay, I took it. So as everything's like falling, but I got a good picture. I chopped up her wig, but I do want to get another one so I can go to like a con or like do some content with the Merkel outfit.
I'm gonna go ahead and play probably this one. Yeah, let's be on play this one. Is this one rewalking? Let's try it. You said what?
Why are you picking that one?
We can scroll. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just asking questions.
That's the first one I saw. You know. Oh, here we go. Let's go with this one.
There's a miracle one right there. Yeah, there you go.
I don't want to get, you know what I mean? No copyrights. Okay, there go the arms. There go the arms.
Got the
you
arms.
got some arms on you.
That was the fun.
Damn. Okay. She do got the arms
Let's
on.
go back to the gym for a damn, bro. Jesus Christ.
That was after I chopped up the wig. I was like, I gotta make it work. So I kind of rotated it so it looked like what it was supposed to before.
Did the point in the direction and shit.
You always gotta try to work with the wig.
Right? Always gotta work with the wig. Make it look somewhat like hair.
I have 2 containers with probably about 100 wigs each. So
damn.
I love
Shut up.
100 each is crazy.
Shut up.
How many you just said?
She had 200 wigs, my boy.
What the fuck?
That's after I threw some away.
Stop buying shit.
Like,
How many haircuts you got?
Oh, you
Yeah,
born in
that's
the
fine.
1800s?
You
That's
can't have
fine,
too many
because
wigs.
I have another one here tomorrow.
Okay.
Talyana, you don't understand, Talyana. We're working on money management. She has to stop buying fucking wigs.
I have one coming. It will be delivered tomorrow.
Oh my
Yes.
So tell us about your cosplaying. So like tell us about like does your crowd, like, does TikTok like well receive your cosplaying? Does the cosplaying community embrace you? Like, what got you into being a cosplayer? All that.
I would say what got me into cosplaying, I've always loved cosplayers. I've always loved anime. I've always loved like animation and dressing up and stuff like that. When I was younger, when I was in kindergarten, before I became homeschooled, I would always argue with my friend of who would play what, just because I wanted the costume. But even if I didn't have a costume, because for instance, like during a Halloween parade, everyone was dressed up as princesses, but my parents couldn't afford it. So me and my mom made like a princess outfit. And I felt good anyway. I was strutting. But I've always been into the cosplaying, like people bringing these characters to life. But I think me getting into it, I think even though I have a couple cosplays, I still think that I'm very new to the scene. Just because it'd be expensive, but also just because I want to be not mindful of what I cosplay, but I want to like if I'm gonna play this character, I want to be able to like really bring them to life. Not just wearing something to wear it, but like having like taking the time, like maybe even doing a shoot where like it looks like I'm in the environment, or I can find a video that kind of matches. I think the very first one I ever did, which was just a makeshift one, it only showed like from my shoulder to my head, was Shigo.
I can see it.
Yeah, and that was like very fun for me, even though all I did was go like, and then I was like green because I made myself look green. Like I was able to finesse, tint the video a little, and then draw. Someone was like, "You have a mustache?" I was like, "No, it's the lip effects. You're fake for that. You don't know Kim Possible." But I really want to like bring them to life. With the Spider-Man one. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, you ain't gotta worry about being like a poser or nothing like that, because Mealers is somebody that is in our group, you know what I'm saying? She don't be knowing all the cosplays she do. She just be doing them. She be like, oh. Like she did what's it called? Attack on Titan, and then she did what's the girl with the blonde hair? Annie. She did Annie. She don't watch Attack on Titan.
America. I want you to look at this man right here. This man straight up dry snitched on his friend on national TV. With no inspiration. Just called her the fuck out. That's crazy. That is crazy.
What I'm saying is, going back into Charlie's point about gatekeeping.
Oh, why are we doing that right now?
I'm just saying. You don't listen. You do not have to apparently know everything about the character in order to be a part of the community. Was the main point. To be perfectly
honest, when it comes to cosplaying, you don't necessarily have to watch the show that it is. As long as you've done the research on the character to act like the character, it doesn't matter. So I do not play League of Legends. I've never played League of Legends. I only really like the little music group that they put together with the League of Legends characters, and I like watching like the trailers and the cutscenes and whatnot. Playing the game, however, is absolutely not happening.
If you're
However,
gonna do this,
my
go ahead.
plan for the past 3 years has been to cosplay a version of Ari, the Ninetale, for forever. And the only reason I have not done it is because every time I get ready to order her tails, they're going to be too late for the con that I've chosen. So she will be my cosplay for DreamCon in July. I have plenty of time to order her tails.
Was that like a sneak peek, a spoiler? Because I usually keep your cosplays
people were already
low
about to
key.
know that. People are about to know
Okay.
that. I've been talking about doing Ari for forever. And so the outfit is never the issue, it's always the tail. So I'm doing her Coven skin, which I absolutely love, and it has like glass tails. And I am so excited. I've been trying to do that. So I don't play League of Legends, but I know how she acts to become her at a con.
Yes.
I think that's what's really fun about cosplaying anyway, is like you don't have to watch what it is. If you like a character design and you want to do that, and that's another thing, like somebody actually just cosplayed as Sailor Moon Knight at a con. People, they've never watched Moon Knight before, but they came up with Sailor Moon Knight cosplay, and it looked absolutely phenomenal.
Thanks.
Wow, I love that.
Mean, that's just how I feel when it comes to cosplay. Like, and to Talyana's point, I like knowing the character before I play them or cosplay as them. Of course, we're gonna get the backlash on who we pick because that character is not black. Well, she's gonna be black today.
Yes, absolutely. I'm like, it's gonna be today. It's gonna
happen today. They're going to be very, very African American. So I don't know what you want from me. I paid for this costume, or I helped put it together. So it's going on, and this is what's gonna happen. So I definitely agree with knowing the character. I don't agree with having to watch what they're in to be able to cosplay them.
Con, since you pulling cards, you in the chat today. The character that I put in there from Star Wars, I was talking about, I enjoyed the guy you cosplayed. What's that character's name?
Nihilus.
Oh.
It's like Nihilus, right? It's
Nihilus, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
What is he? What is he? You know where this backstory?
Yes. Okay. Wait, are you trying to pull my card?
No, I'm pulling. Hey, I'm checking your chain, my boy. I'm checking. Do you know about the character? Do you know about the character?
Bro, that's the only. I never do a cosplay unless I know the character. But that's just me personally. But I was a big Star Wars fan, like at least the animation and shit like that. I had literally found out about this character because there's a Star Wars community of people that I know. And I told them I never was able to get through all the movies. I only was able to like the animation. So when they told me about the character,
read any of the comics?
That character wasn't in any of the animation or any
only
movies.
I know, which is why I just said. Did you? Well, he ain't listening. He's not listening.
No, my point being, you say you learned about him through secondhand from somebody else, right?
Right.
So what content? So what content did you consume that he was in?
I didn't consume no content. No.
So that's my point. You heard him, thought he was cool.
I read, yeah.
So that's my point. You looked him up, you thought he was cool, you cosplayed him. You didn't have to know the entire backstory on him or consume his content.
Backstory. I just didn't watch none of his stuff. You feel what I'm saying?
So then my question is, did you read any of the comic books?
Yes, I read the comic books. I read his backstory, the whole shit. But also to Charlie's point, I literally said it is okay. To your point. That's not how I started this off.
Okay, so then my question.
You started off by dry snitching on your homie. That's all I heard. That's what I said.
But that's why I said it was
okay. People in this
that's why I said it was okay. Hold on.
Are you going to be going to?
Hold on. It says, I came in and saw beauty. Only question I got is she single?
Hey, yo.
No, sir, she is not. No, sir, she is not.
Get this man a glass of water.
That's gotta be the fabricated keys, because the real keys ain't gonna be doing all that.
Gotcha.
That's wild.
Okay,
But
are you going to be going to any cons this year? That is my question.
the question.
Ooh, I really want to. I'm the type of person to be like, ooh, let me see when this con is happening. And then I looked and I was like, it was last weekend. I was like, why did I even check? I really want to. I know SAC Anime has a couple cons throughout the year. I was supposed to go to the one that was happening this month, but unfortunately, like something happened with my family, had an emergency, and so I couldn't go. But my goal for this year is to at least go to one, and to go to one cosplaying. My goal right now, because I'm researching this character, because I haven't played the video games, but I love the character Bayonetta, so I'm looking into that one. I even got like I even got like the glasses, but I accidentally bought the set, so I have like 5. And I was like, oops, I didn't mean to buy all that. But
you getting the 80-inch bust down? You getting that?
Yeah, I'm like trying to practice like the move, even though I'm not gonna be like walking around and then suddenly like doing the moves, but like for like any like pictures, because I do want to like take pictures for my feed. Trying to save up how much it would be. Yeah, so I do want to go to at least one in the summertime.
I gotta rewind.
Listen, I feel you on like the looking up a con to see, and then it's like a past con. That's why I literally at the end of last year when we left LA Comic-Con, I sat down and I got on the like official global Comic-Con website where it has every con around the world listed for like the next year. And I was just like, ooh, I want to do that one. Ooh, I want to do that one. Ooh, I want to do that one. I have like a list. You can ask them. I have a whole schedule for all of the ones that I will be at.
I love really that. Bad. I need to do that. I need my brain.
I'm gonna go ahead because Keys brought up a good question, which was the character. What characters do you do? And we're gonna go ahead and bring up Britney from the show called Plastic. Go ahead and talk about that. Talk about, doing voice acting and things of that nature.
It's Britney, bitch.
It's Britney, bitch. It's so funny. She has a very California accent. It's so funny because I trained to do like commercial voiceover. So it would be the ones that's like Netflix, blah, 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 blah. Thank you for calling. Da, da, da. Just like talking like that. And so the role that I ended up getting was someone who's like, oh my goodness, like blah, blah. I was like, this is not what I was trained for, but I'm ready for it. Voiceover, I've always loved, which is why I love when you're bringing up like, like anime, like intro songs. Like I would love to do that just to play a part in some sort of animation, whether it's the vocal voice, the voice for the intro or outro, or for the character. I've always loved animation. And what I love about voiceover is that it's ageless. There's all sorts of people from different backgrounds, from different ages doing voiceover. And I think that's so beautiful because like if you go to like a workshop, it looks like every other like random person, but they're all just like incredible at what they do. And I got into it kind of just doing like the collabs. I know there was someone named Britney. They were holding auditions for a couple of the dubs that she was doing. And so I auditioned for those. And that's where I met a lot of really incredible people that are like way more qualified than I am. But I was like, you know what, I'm a fake it till I make it. And they're like, ah. And so it was cool to like feel like an equal, especially with people who's like, one of my friends is like plays the Affleck Duck. I have an acquaintance that does voices for League of Legends. And like one of my other friends, they just got their first dub where they play the main character. They dub for like Love is Blind Brazil. So it's very cool because I got to meet so many people through TikTok, through like just the online voiceover space, and to get that respect. It was the first time that I ever been in like an entertainment community where I was treated like an equal, and it inspired me to like keep doing like collabs and to try different things And even like when I pop into their lives, they'll be like, "Oh, hi, Talyana." Like they're like voiceover people are some of the most nicest people on earth. It's crazy. And so how I got yeah. Oh, so sorry.
Oh, I had a question about like how you got into it. As somebody that may want to dabble in a couple morsels of voice acting in the future, how did you like start your journey of like getting into it?
Yeah, I think for myself, it was kind of like a tumble in, and then I was like, oh, people are seeing. Let me just pretend like I have everything together. Collaborating with people, doing duets with them. So, like for instance, I did one with some amazing people. I've done like, of course, the Has Been Hotel like song ones, but also I did like a scene where I was dubbing Elsa. I did one where we were singing with some cool voice actors. We were singing a song from the My Little Pony movie. So just like working with other people and then auditioning. Most of the time, you're going to bump into the same people. And it always makes it that much more fun and funny. And then doing classes, you'll bump into the same people. I think an advantage of a lot of the people that I know living in LA is that they sometimes bump into each other in real life and go to the same classes or the same events. So it's kind of like taking classes, that will also expand your knowledge, but not just one-on-one classes, group classes, because that's where you're going to be not only able to learn through experience, through feeding off of other people's energy, but you also learn how to network. And most of the time your instructors are gonna, if they see potential and you keep coming to the classes, you try different things, like the community is pretty small, and even I've barely dived into it, but it's small enough to where you can build a good reputation of being a reliable or at least enthusiastic person in voiceover, stuff like that. So it's a lot of just putting yourself out there and being willing to learn, which I think is very nice.
Say less. I'm excited about it. I may dabble in it a little bit down the line with some stuff.
Yes.
It's on the bucket list.
Yes.
It's the kingpin right there, ain't it? I'm an outlaw.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm telling you right there. You pull the.
Oh, can you say it again, bro? What you asked me?
I said that's the kingpin right there, ain't it?
The kingpin?
Yeah.
What do you see?
What you shared on the screen.
Is it me sitting with somebody else?
I don't understand any damn jokes.
I swear it was funny. I swear it was funny.
It was funny, and then he's like, "What are you
next to somebody?"
Yes, you're sitting next to somebody. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Dressed like the kingpin from the Daredevil movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god!
I was like, okay, I didn't get what you was doing, bro. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I thought it was funny. My bad. I guess it wasn't funny.
I didn't catch the reference, bro. My fault.
It was funny, Charlie.
No, he old.
I'm an outlaw.
That boy kills me. But real quick, this was Maddie Kate. No, not Maddie Kate. Excuse me. This was This is Ryan Bartley. So this is the voice actor Ryan Bartley. She's been on Hunter x Hunter and things of that nature. So I had mentioned Talyana, and I asked her to give advice. Talyana already knows that I talked to Bridget Hoffman to give her advice, but I couldn't get her on camera to do that. I did a separate interview with her, so I'm just gonna play this real quick just for Talyana.
You called it Hunter what?
Don't do this.
Hunter, bro. We're not gonna do that.
Don't do this.
We're not doing
this. Don't do that.
All right, I'm gonna play it real quick.
I think that some of you would win.
I think so too.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, last question. I have a friend named Talyana Smith. She's also a voice actor. She's coming up. She specifically asked me to ask you for advice. So what would be something that you would give her or anybody that's inspiring to be a voice actor to come up in the industry.
What kind of voiceover does she want to do?
So right now she's a part of this show called Plastic. It's a Barbie show on YouTube.
Okay.
And she's the main actress for that. And we're having her on the podcast soon. So she wanted me to ask you, as a fan, what would you give her as advice?
I mean, it sounds like she's already doing great. She's cutting her teeth. She's doing work. Just keep at it. Like, it honestly is kind of a long game. I had an agent once that used to say, you know, it's a marathon, not a race. You will see other people take off at different points in quicker than you or slower than you or whatever, or one person will just like all of a sudden be the it person for a couple years. And you can't really judge yourself by anyone else's like pace. You just have to just trust that the roles that will find you, the roles that are right for you will come to you. What they say is you cannot miss what is yours, right? Just like with Komugi, like I told you, like I auditioned for a lot of characters in Hunter x Hunter before I booked Komugi. But I'm so thankful that I didn't book any of the other ones because I didn't know that this character was coming down the line. I didn't watch, you know, the Japanese version, so I didn't know that there was this other role that was going to come that was going to be better than all the ones before. Because the ones I read for before, I think were mostly smaller characters.
And then you got lucky and booked a big role that was impactful.
Yeah,
really cool.
And my mom's, like I said, like my mom's favorite character I voiced, right? So you just have to kind of trust, like, the roles that you're meant to play, you are going to book. And what's meant for you, you will not miss. You know what I mean? And even if you thought, that's the perfect role, I know I'm right for it, I am going to book it, and you don't, it's okay. That happens to all of us. It wasn't for you. It's okay. It just wasn't meant to be. And what is will come to you. And then, so.
Yeah. Ryan can talk a little bit. Oh, thank you.
That was smooth. That was nice.
Ryan can talk a little bit. They actually, I'll send the whole, you know, video clip once I actually do it. But they literally was like, "Hey, we gotta wrap it up." This was going on a rant. But yeah, you know, I was just trying to. I think all my friends can testify that when it comes to people that I believe in, rather that be Kaori or Ju or Charlie, if I'm in certain spaces where I feel like you could excel and maybe I can put your name in somebody's ear that can help you along your career, I'm gonna do so, because I don't have people on this platform, or I don't network with people that I don't believe in. So I really do believe you have a real talent. I think that you can go far with your career, and so that's the reason why I had to make sure I put your name out there in those spaces. So, you know.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that a lot, especially coming from someone who is in a very incredible role, especially a woman voice actor. It's always encouraging to hear. And it's so true what she says. I think I'm slowly learning that now because how I got Plastic, which I love. It's a company, it's a social media platform ran by two sisters. They're incredible. It was almost not by accident, but it was unexpected. I was constantly auditioning for like a lot of like independent projects, and I wouldn't get any of them, and I was like, ooh. And it's like very hard, especially because it is a long game, and especially playing a long game of both music and voiceover, it gets very exhausting. And how I ended up getting it was on my requested DMs. They're like, we're looking for a voice actor. They probably saw something that I posted, like a collab or something. Shout out to those people that I work with. And I didn't see it until like a week later. And then I was like, hello, I would love to blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, we already casted it. And I was like, just like the Comic-Cons, but it's
Was that like a Miss Doubtfire impression? That's what it sounded like.
Hello. No, but it could be. But yeah, and then I was like, oh, it wasn't meant for me. I was trying to have that, if it's meant for me, it will happen, which is true. But I was like really trying to play that so I wouldn't get like sad that I literally missed it. And then I saw on their story, because I still follow them. I wanted to support them because I never want to like make anyone feel bad for any like casting or if they don't agree or whatever. And so I wanted to support them. They did an amazing video with the voice actor. And then they were like, oh, on their story, they're like, we're looking for a voice actor. And I was like, I slid back in the DM and I said, well, if you're still looking for somebody, then I am here. And so they're like, okay, can you say, yeah, I was like, I got to be strategic with this. Good. My opportunity. So they're like, okay, here's the lines. And so I did them. And then they're like, we're deciding between you and one other person. And then ended up getting it. And what I thought was like one of the supporting characters was actually the main character, Britney. And I was like, oh, really? Wow. And then funny enough, I find out because like I said, when you audition, when you do like the claps, all that stuff, you run into the same people. And I had a couple like people that I was like more like close with, more friends with. There's a one girl, Eden. I really admired her voiceover. She sang really good. And the characters are best friends. And the girl who plays the best friend of my character was my close friend. And I didn't even know, even after some of the videos came out for Britney and for, what is I keep forgetting. I'm so bad at names. But for the characters, there's a couple videos and I was like, oh my goodness, she sounds familiar. And then I was like, I DM'd Eden. I was like, is this you? And she was like, oh my goodness, is this you? And I was like, oh my gosh. So it's like, we didn't even know that we were in the same project. We always told each other that like we would end up in a project together. And we ended it up without even knowing, which I thought was beautiful. But definitely, especially like I said, balancing music and voice acting. I think a happy medium that I'm trying to do is to get into being a vocalist for animation. Getting into that scene. And so kind of exploring that as well as doing some stuff like the Has Been Hotel collab that I did with Tommy or even the solo one that I did to kind of, you know, slip it into the universe like, hello, I can sing on these things. Yay. Which has opened some doors. But yeah, that's kind of the route that I'm going in is, yeah, still open to voiceover, but right now, especially because I want everything to kind of align because everything's always been so everywhere, exploring like being a vocalist for animation and for all that stuff. So yeah.
Got you. I'm just gonna show her character Britney real quick, and then you know pretty much. Oh,
that one doesn't have the music in it.
I was gonna go to the actual. I'm pretty sure they got one of them. Let's see.
Yeah, I think they hide them on the Reels page.
Oh, did they always do it like that?
I think for those ones,
always, yeah,
those have the music over it.
Oh, all of them. Okay.
But for there's one that's down there.
It just took a long time for it to pop up, so I'm just gonna do a different share screen. But I found it.
I'm an outlaw.
To party together.
Or they're not close enough friends to party with you.
Oh, do you know who this voice even is? Do you remember the ritual to summon a demon? Turns out it's done to be famous. We can try. Here it says that we need virgin tears, but it doesn't really matter. We'll do it as a joke. Oh.
Click to install.
Oh, no.
Click to confirm payment.
Oh, no.
Sound assistant installed.
Shit.
Assistant connected to home.
Did I just hear Talyana cuss?
Oh no!
What is going on? So that is Talyana as Britney. Can you tell us about how you love playing the character? Can you actually do it in Britney's voice, like the Valley Girl voice that you do? Is it Valley Girl? Because you told me it's like more of like a Kim Kardashian impression.
Yeah.
Why
so
would you do that?
Originally, yeah, it was ideally they're like, we want like a Kim Kardashian style of speaking. And so for some of the shorter clips, like I tried different things and they were very particular about it because they do have a vision. But then I was like, oh my goodness, are they going to replace me because I can't do the voice? But then they're like, no, we're like, they ideally wanted to shape the voice with me. And I was like, oh, thank goodness, I'm staying. But then they sent a video for reference and they're like, oh, this. And it was just me talking normally. And I was like, no. I was like, no.
That's crazy.
I was like, first, that's less work for me. So just an exaggerated version. But then I was like, no, is that what I sound like?
It reminds me of that girl from Mean Girls. Like
Regina.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you give us like an impression? Like give us like a sentence, like a run or anything.
Yeah. A lot of times she'll be like, Christy, like she'll constantly call on Christy. She'll be like, Christy, do you really think blah, 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 blah? And she'll kind of talk like that. I'm trying to think of like someone give me a sentence.
Yeah, Charlie.
Oh
you good
my
at
God.
Right.
Becky, look at her butt.
Okay, let's see. Will I remember my lines? I'll say Christy, just so it's in character.
Of course.
Oh my gosh. Christy, look at her butt.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm a child. I'm sorry. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Brett acting like how we was acting on the Cow Hay Bear.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I tried so hard not to geek out, bro. I tried so hard.
Yeah,
that was funny.
She was
I'm a fan of voice act again. At some point, I want to get into it. So I'm always a fan of the people behind the people.
Yes,
it's dope. I will say it trips me out. Like Tara Strong's a big inspiration, obviously, and like seeing people that have drastically different characters that is different from their voice, and seeing them like jump from character to character. Like I've seen her go from like Ben 10 to Timmy Turner. I'm like, all right, that's wild. You're not a human being because that's nuts. You should be able to be jumping from personality to personality like that.
Yes, I love it. It's beautiful because the key to voice acting is first knowing your voice, being able to speak in your voice with good techniques. So making sure you're not like losing your voice as you're speaking. But when it comes to different characters, it's sort of what changes is only slight things are being changed. So if it's like a younger character, you would talk a little bit more high pitch. If it's like someone more professional, you'll round out your voice. You'll kind of talk more monotone or it's more like based on this character. If I were this character and if I was in this skin, like let's say if I was Timmy Turner, if I was this kid whose life sucked and I am like 10 years old, and I have like buck teeth and I have these fairy godparents that suddenly came here and they could grant my wishes. I watched her interview. She's like, I put myself in that position and I'm like, what would make sense? Well, he's a boy. So he kind of like has like this rough, like talking speech. He's young. So she kind of pitches it up and it's raspy. It's this young kid that's just like trying to get through, I don't know, elementary school. So it's all about knowing what your voice sounds like, and only changing it based on the character, the emotion they portray, not just changing the voice to change the voice. Because you have a lot of people who only use their own voice. A good example is like, yeah. And like, yeah. And the guy who plays Cat Noir, he plays Meliodas and he just uses the same voice. And it's less of the voice that makes the character and it's more of, oh, he's good at playing people who are witty. So he's always casted in witty characters. So it's like no matter who you are, if you love voiceover and you're passionate about it and you're learning and you're getting to know people, you're going to find the right area for you at the end of the day.
Say less. I'm writing that down.
So real quick before we get out of here, you are an actual voice coach. Like you actually teach voice acting. Tell them how, like, what are some of the tips that you can give people as a, voice actor and a voice coach? Like, what is important? I know you just recently on your Instagram where you show like a technique that you do for like an exercise, like blowing bubbles. To just talk about that.
Yeah, so I specifically am a voice teacher, mainly for singing, but also voice acting and singing use the same techniques. I try to make it important that like your voice is your instrument, and the more self-aware you are of what's happening, the more control you have, and you have more control of your voice than you think. For instance, I like to say like this is where you want to imagine your sound is sitting, and the mouth area, even though the sound is literally coming out of the mouth, this is how you shape the sound. So like how the vowel shapes, if it's round inside versus like if it's very narrow in the mouth, that's shaping the voice. So my biggest tips is just number one, making sure you know how to maintain the voice, because that's the most important thing. There's plenty of people, singers, voice actors, who will play characters or sing songs and abuse their voice to where they don't have it anymore. They have to get surgery. And so my biggest thing is like, if your livelihood, if your passion has to do with your voice, you almost have to treat it like a very sacred instrument, because it's different than a piano and a guitar. You can buy another one. You can't really buy another vocal cord. It's your own, and it's the only one that you're gonna get unless technology, but even then it's like you only get one that's truly you. And so doing things like the straw phonation, which is basically where you hum into a straw, it helps with just like helping, it almost creates like back pressure towards the vocal cords, so it's allowing the vocal cords to vibrate without air escaping and drying out the vocal cords. Doing things like that, finding techniques on how to, you know, if you want to speak loudly, how do I speak loudly without everything feeling like this tension right here and feeling uncomfortable? It's like doing the research to understand your voice, not just from a creative perspective of like, I want to do a cute anime voice, I want to do a powerful voice. It's more like also learning the anatomy of your body, the anatomy of the face, the anatomy of the vocal cords, because even though the vocal cords are right here, your whole body plays a part in how you sound and how you're able to deliver that sound. So if one part of your body is down, it's gonna affect the rest of it.
I think what's really dope, because I'm in your personal chat, like with your fans and all that, and I thought it was really dope that when you teach voice and how to project and how to sing and all that stuff, like you talk about the science of it. I had no idea. I had no idea about letters and shapes and all this different stuff that you're doing with your body and the anatomy of it. I was like, I just thought you just, you know what I mean? You just sing. Like, I didn't know that there was this whole science to it. So I was like, okay, that was pretty dope, like to have that type of breakdown. But yeah, man, besides that, the last question I would ask, and then I'll ask everybody else. Yeah, this is my last question. I'll let everybody else go. What would be a good remedy for like when your voice is like, you know, going through like harsh times? Because I know when I did an interview with Jonah, he said that he put this concoction together. It has cayenne pepper and he gargles that and stuff like that. I don't know if that's a recommendation, but that's what he does. What would you do?
Ooh, everyone has like their like remedies and quick fixes, which is beautiful. For me, I like to think.
Also talk about the importance of having a union. Sorry, I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah.
Oh, was that yours? Was that yours?
No, you just did it in there so random. It's like, oh yeah.
You know, union, your vocal cords, like it go together. You know what I mean? But remedies, yeah. But go ahead.
Yeah. So for myself, the vocal cords, they have to be warm and moist. So for me, it's important that I hydrate. Those were like the two worst things I could say, but it's okay.
I saw his face and I was like, why? There's no way. There's no way.
I just love when I'm not alone. Y'all don't know how good that feels, because like I looked over to this nigga and I was like, it ain't me.
These are bad things for me to say out loud. But
can you say that again?
It's
But
just
in
the
Britney's
order in
voice?
which they came.
No.
Order in which
Can you say it again in Britney's voice? Say it again.
Oh, in Britney's?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Damn, Con, you dance monkey dance. Chill out, bro.
Right, Jesus.
Chill.
Yo, I am not trying to treat her. I'm not trying to treat her like
Do
Tucker
thing,
Boy
do
off of Hey
thing.
Arnold.
Do the thing.
God damn. God.
But it is important.
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
That's what it sounds like. Do the roar.
Oh my God. I can't breathe.
That's funny. But yeah, it is important. Yeah, there's many times when I teach that I like say stuff
Y'all
and
messed
like
it up, dude.
because
She was
my
gonna do it and
brain.
y'all fucked it up. Whoa. Hey, yo.
Not the
I need
request.
Oh, boy.
Not the request.
I need help.
Pause.
Immediately.
Auntie killer.
Double
Auntie
pause.
slayer.
That is auntie slayer. So how you was the grandma beefer? That's
Auntie
auntie
slayer
slayer
right there.
I mean, him right there. That's auntie
crazy.
slayer. So y'all got something in common. You be beefing with grandmas, and he wanted to
beefing with grandmas.
Slash them off.
I'm so sorry. We're so immature. I apologize.
I apologize.
You're all good.
I was
You're all
trying,
good.
I was
love
trying
it.
to have fun. Other niggas just trying to do other things.
Maybe having
I
special
thought
requests.
hearing warm and moist in Britney's voice would have been hilarious.
Hey,
But you know,
he was over whooping right there.
Why do you keep telling me? Never mind, bro.
Moving forward from the.
You
Yeah,
gotta
go
go
ahead.
there.
Go ahead. Finish up the question. My fault. Go ahead.
No, you're all good. For myself, I drink tea. I steam. You could simply do it by just getting a hot bowl of water and putting a towel over your head and just letting the steam, breathing it in. That's breaking down any mucus. It's helping with just clearing your sinuses. I specifically, which I should have brought with me because I had like a bunch of Sanrio stickers on it, but I personally have a voice steamer. So it specifically has like a face mask. So you could breathe in the steam, as well as I am a firm believer of hydration. You drink water today to hydrate for tomorrow because your body does take time to fully take in that water and let it spread. So just staying hydrated, of course, tea, specifically ginger tea. I used to dislike ginger tea, but seeing, especially when I have to record for hours and hours, ginger tea gets me through it. As much as I'm like, no, I'm like, it's working. Just drink it. So yeah, those are kind of my methods.
What about the union part? I'm sorry, Drew. I saw you unmute yourself.
No, I was just gonna say I love ginger tea with some lemon in it. It's real.
Some
good.
lemon, yes. It's one of those things where I had to learn to like. So I was like, you're gonna like it. Yes, but now it's good.
So what were you saying about the union?
Union, I think, in my opinion, unions are very important. I'm not in a union yet, but I have a couple people. I know a couple people who are, and they're doing incredible things. It allows them more opportunities as well as protection, especially because artists, whether they're voice actors, writers, dancers, they tend to get like effed over. I don't know why I'm censoring myself.
Taken advantage of.
They're getting taken advantage of.
Gotcha.
There are many times where like I said, that's why I'm like mindful of where I perform. There are many times where I either perform for no one and get sick, or I wait for hours and never perform and then get sick, and stuff like that. How do I feel about but yeah, in conclusion, unions are very important because we need to be protected. It's just as much as an important job as any job. And you want security in your job. And I think like artists, voice actors, all of them deserve to be protected as well. And then about the AI, I think AI I have mixed feelings about it. It's one of those things where it could be a great tool. But like anything, it can, like most things, most developments, they're meant to be tools and they end up getting abused. If you've ever seen, there's a documentary me and my boyfriend watched where the developers of like Pinterest, the developers of many famous platforms, they don't even let their kids go on social media because they're like, what we created it for, it is like what it is become is a monster. And I feel like it's happening with AI. It could have been a great tool to use side by side, but I think people are taking advantage of it. A lot of people are making money making AI art, which leaves a lot of artists very vulnerable and left in a situation where it's like, well, now people aren't willing to pay for our art because they could just write a prompt and it appears. And then for voices, it's very scary. And in videos, it's very scary. Not only because it could take jobs, and it has taken jobs, not for the voices, but for even technology. I think Google laid off a bunch of people. Like just suddenly, a lot of people are turning to AI because it costs less, but also because now people can like make evidence of anything. They can, and that's the scariest thing. There's a plenty of streamers, female creators that even have like fake explicit photos of themselves.
Taylor Swift was going ham about that.
I was gonna mention it because I was on it today. There's a chick and a dude just did a TikTok about her. I don't know if her face is like her face or whatever, but she makes photos of her in erotic poses of AI. And she got almost 1 million followers, bro. And she got link trees.
That's crazy.
People, she got 200 and some paid subscribers. Like for an AI artificial, like she's not even real. Like she could be some big nigga named Butch in the back of stage.
Not Butch. But it's so true. It's so true.
That one movie where everybody was they like sold their body to be used as AI while everybody was still sitting there. And they had that one big fat dude in the chair that's nasty, and he was the girl though. And like y'all know the movie. I can't think of the name right now, but y'all know the movie I'm talking about. Bro, it's like that with AI, bro. You don't know who it is. Then they letting it where you can steal people's voices. Like, dude went viral, like, I let Snoop Dogg read my essay report for my class. I'm like, nigga, you stealing niggas like this. Like,
I think Kaori can testify to that. Go ahead, tell them about your AI experience, my dear. How you
snitch, bro? You snitching?
She said it could be a good and bad thing. This might be the good part. We're talking about the bad part.
I would say I haven't stolen anything. I did do my Batman Who Laughs video on YouTube, and I did use Mark Hamill's Joker voice as my special guest to tell parts of the story. And actually, Mark Hamill has that video. So he hasn't said anything. He hasn't said anything, but he does have the link to that video. I don't know how he got that link. I think one of my followers actually sent it to him.
How do you know he has the link?
Huh?
How do you know he has the link?
I got an email about the video.
You got a cease and desist. They were like,
it wasn't a cease and desist. I got an email about the video that the video was really appreciated and liked. But he himself hasn't said anything. So I was like, oh, that's cool as shit. And I think one of my followers actually sent it to him. But I also had just as like a safety precaution on myself, I did send him a message through Instagram, and I sent him a message through TikTok about the use of his voice, and I sent him the website in which his voice is on there, just so he knew. Now, the link to the video, I did not send that. So when I got the email, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I just left it at that. I was like, I don't know what that means, but all right, sure. So I liked using it. I thought it was really fun. And I do agree, AI can definitely be like a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you are using it. The reason that I used it was because I thought it would be a really fun twist, especially since I was talking about the Joker and Batman, and Mark Hamill's Joker voice is so iconic. I just thought it would be super fun to use his voice to assist in the video. And it turned out to be a really good idea, and it was really fun, and the video is like really fun to watch and stuff like that, and the conversation that happens between the two of us. So I thought that was really fun. However, there are some I've seen on TikTok like a million times where people are like using AI to like they sing a song, like a cover, and then they put their voice through AI to sound like the original person singing the song. I don't understand that part, because you could just listen to the person singing the song. Why don't you just sing it? If you've already sung it and you put in the work, there is absolutely no point in doing the AI, because then you're not even the one getting credit for the work that you just put in, because they're like, oh, this artist like just did a cover for this song and they did it. So
I think I've seen a lot of those.
AI, I think it's a good idea.
The thing I've seen the most is like I don't know if you know who like Kai Cenat or like the AMP guys are, but I know that was a big trend with them where like their fans would have them singing like Love by Keisha Cole, or like different songs, because something different than what you would ever believe them to do for comedic value. I think it happened on RDC too, where it was like a bunch of different, like have them sing some wild stuff, and I know they were reacting to it. Again, like you said, there's a weird fine line of like, all right, is this comedic or are you using this exploitatively?
Yeah, because if you then use it to like you say you've AI'd somebody singing the song or whatever, and then you put it on Apple to like make money from it, that's weird. And then it's no longer fun, and then that's the abusive part of the AI, and then that's when everything's like AI is not a good idea. So again, I think it depends on how you use it. I do agree it can be either good or it could be bad. Doing AI art, I would purchase like an artist's actual art versus AI art. I have purchased, like I have gotten like AI photos of myself, but I would also like pay my brother, who has spent forever in graphics, to like give me a picture, because both of my brothers are artists. So like one is in graphic design and one draws. So I would 100% over everything pay one of them to do something for me versus like going to an AI to try to do it, because I know that like an AI can do it fast, but it's always quality over quantity for me.
Yeah, AI could be a great tool. There's voice actors and singers that are even like selling their voice legally and getting royalties. I know Grimes has done that. There's some voice actors. There was one on LinkedIn that was talking about how they were offered to sell their voice and they denied it just because the wages were low. So they're like, if I do end up selling my voice, I want to wait until it's worth the money. You have celebrities. They've sold their personality on, if you go on Instagram, the AIs, like your best friend, your dancer friend.
This world is getting crazy.
It's getting wild. It's such a great tool. And I love when you said like the self-portraits, like the AI. I think it's great for references, because I do have like some AI art for references, like send to artists, because I try to tell them, I'm like, I want this. And then they're like, oh, do you have a reference? And I like draw like the most crusty stick figure image, and I hope that they understand. They're like, girl, what is this? Is this a dog? And I'm like, no, it's me. And I'm like,
I think it's a product of like where our times are as far as like content creation becoming a major thing, because nowadays people are selling their brand around them that they built, rather than it be a character that you create for your brand or it being genuinely you. And because you can monetize that, it kind of just makes sense that you can literally monetize it as a physical product at some point, to where I know some adult actresses have like their OnlyFans, they have like an AI where it'll be like their personality responding to their fans, which was already a thing where like they were paying dues to respond for them, but like now you can cut them out and not pay them, but you can have somebody responding how you were responding. Like I think they said that you can program to like know personal information about you, like your dog's name, and have a genuine dialogue back and forth with you.
First of all, stop shaking your head, okay?
He's a.
Hey, Stone Ages, man. This is crazy to me, but I was just gonna say, does anybody else have any questions for Talyana before we get out of here? Any statements, anything like that? Oh, Charlie, go ahead.
Two-parter. One is in regards to the voice acting classes. I would like to know if we were interested in your services, where we contact you about trying to book an appointment for like a voice acting class and whatnot, or assistance.
Yeah. So right now, I currently teach with a company like the Thomas Music Square. However, I'm trying to develop, which is why I'm doing like those singer mindset videos of like explaining, trying to develop almost like my own independent, just like coaching, just because I love teaching, and I want to kind of expand into like maybe even like voice engineering, kind of more leaning towards people who are looking for someone to coach them into like their craft, like people who are very passionate, who kind of have like an end goal, or at least for myself, at least providing like the proper resource. I love giving people like network resources. I'm like, oh, here's some great classes. Here's some great material that I've looked at, that I practiced. Here's an article. So I'm right now, I don't have like any independent one-on-one classes, but I am now in a place where I feel confident, where I can send like, oh, like there's this class that I recommend. If this voice actor, because most instructors are working voice actors, if this person is having a workshop, whether it's through Zoom or in person, giving whoever's asking like the resources, if they're like, I want to do this, this, and that, I'm like, oh, cool. Here's some things that I've used that have worked for me. Here's some resources that are going to help you. So kind of more in like this advisor coach, very much coaching advisor space I'm trying to get more into. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to like feel confident enough to be independently doing voice acting and singing, teaching on my own. But for now, I feel like I'm in a good place where like if someone's like, hey, I want to reach out to get some insight, maybe like sending like a script, like what are some just like nitpicky things that you think I could improve on? What are some resources? Then I'm in a place where I could be like, oh, cool. I feel more confident in doing that now. So yeah. Gotcha.
And I'll be reaching out. Yeah. Second part of the question. You mentioned your again, not voice respirator, but your machine that you can use to help you, I guess, resuscitate your voice, for lack of a better term. I gotta know, how often do you pretend to be Darth Vader with that on your face?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's
a good question. I'm like, I don't know. It's like either Darth Vader, or I feel like if I'm, because I do it while sitting, but if I were to lay down, I'm like, Victorian era, I'm on my deathbed. This is my breathing mask. But definitely it slips in my mind every now and then, especially if I'm doing deep breathing. I'm like,
I knew it. That's all the questions I have. I'm done. I'm tapped out.
I am your father.
I am your father.
Puppet.
No.
Ju, did you have any questions, or Kaori?
Kaori asleep.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, but for the people who,
I don't know if you said it, but when does plastic into air? When is this show, and where is this show going to be? Is it a YouTube series? Are you guys trying to get it picked up by like a platform, or what's the future for plastic?
I think for the future for plastic right now, their biggest goals was to have it get picked up, but also they've taught themselves Blender, which is what they use to animate it. And they've kind of created like a little empire for themselves, which is so incredible because it's literally just two girls, so smart. And they're based in Spain, so everything's remote. But they even did like a showing. They showed that one Halloween episode at a film festival in Spain. Their goal is for it to get picked up, but they also do meta work. So they make clothes, like meta clothes for avatars. They make those characters kind of based off that. So right now they're kind of working towards building their empire in more of that meta verse, and then once they're trying to get more animators and really try to build that character. So hopefully we'll see more content with them talking soon. But for now, which is awesome for them, they're kind of continuing to build the brand to try to get more recognition, especially because they're really big, but they want to, like, you know, when something's big versus when something's like solid, they are trying to build that empire, make it a strong foundation, which I'm like, yes. So hopefully we get some more content from them soon. But they do have some stuff on Instagram and then the YouTube videos as well.
Okay, good. All right, well, that has been it, y'all. We're gonna show y'all her Instagram. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to follow her on Instagram, please go to her Instagram. This is her Spotify. So you guys asked about her music, so please check out her music.
Yeah, 2 songs in the playlist right now.
Yeah.
She also used to do open versus challenges, which I really want to get into, but you know, we got short for time. So maybe one day Talyana may come back on. How did you feel about the interview? You know what I mean? Like, how did you feel about it? Did you you might come back one day or what?
I'm sorry if you say no. That's my fault.
I'm like, absolutely not. No, I loved it. I think especially because everyone here loves a good anime. Everyone here loves a good game. This is a very fun and unique experience, being able to share this love that I've suppressed for so long. Now that I've allowed myself to just be who I am, realizing that, like I said before, the right people will find you. Being able to realize, oh, there are people that like it, and there are people that want to talk about it, but also are so much more than just loving anime. It's just very cool. It's very cool. I would come back again.
Okay, bet. I appreciate you. We thank you for having you. Thank you for having us. We're coming on. You know what I'm saying? We enjoyed you. Looking forward to more of your music and projects. I told you for sure, and then don't flake on me, but send me when you gonna perform so I can go. You feel me? And I definitely want to support you. I believe in you. I really think that you're gonna be the next star when it comes to voice acting. I really do think you got it. You already got it in singing, so I don't feel like I need to give you no praise and accolades there. But I think that when it comes to voice acting, you really got a niche for it, and I hope to see you in like really big projects. I'm like, bro, I knew her before she was on there, bro, and I just pull up the video. So appreciate you coming on. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Kaori. Even though you know what I'm saying. Thank you, Jill. And I will now play the intro, which is now the outro for Baby Said Bye.
So back. She gave it. I ain't that to no more. They didn't wait back at you.
Night after night, I've been loving you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. Every hour, every minute, every second. You know, night after night, I've been loving you 7 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week. Every hour, every minute, every second. You know, night after night, I've been loving you 7 days a week. Said you gon' rock my world.